Hey everybody, Chris HOLOWICKI coming at you with a new sort of rant video. I just saw this video on the YouTubes by the amazing Shoe on Head about this new Buzzfeed test where you could check your very own privilege. I gotta turn this. Let's just jump to that link, and I thought, how about I take this little test? See how privileged Chris HOLOWICKI is according to Buzzfeed. Okay, here we go. Am I white? Yes. Unfortunately. Sorry, Buzzfeed. I've never been discriminated against because of my skin color. Maybe disrespected. I wouldn't say discriminated. I've never been the only person my race in the room. Very much not true. I've never been mocked. Wait a minute. Am I doing this right? I've never been the only person of my race in the room. I have been the only person. This is tricky the way they're doing this. Hold on a second. Guys, am I white? Yes. Okay. Okay. I have never been discriminated. That's true. That's not true. I've never been mocked for my accent. Yes, I totally have. I have never been told I'm attractive for my race. I've been told I'm pretty fly for a white guy. So I'm going to have to say no. Boom! Okay, I've never been a victim of violence because of my race. Oh, shit. Damn, that's hard to say. It's hard to say. In high school, there's these two guys who didn't speak, any English, who used to bully me a lot. But I guess we became friends. Never mind. If they were racist, we wouldn't have made good later. Never mind. I've never been a victim of violence. It's probably not. I've never been called a racial slur. Wait. I've never been a victim of violence because of my race. I gotta click that one. God damn you. You fucking thing. You're ruining this video. You fucking test. I've never been called a racial slur. I have. I've never been told I sound white. Of course I have. A stranger has never asked to touch my hair or asked if it's real. A stranger has never... Son of a bitch. Maybe I'm too drunk to do this. Let's power through this. A stranger has never asked to touch my... Okay, so it said, yeah. I am heterosexual. Yes. Without hesitation. Not that there's anything wrong with not being heterosexual. I've never lied about my sexuality. I have not. I feel like one day... Never mind. I've never had to come out. No, I've never had to come out. Okay, good. I doubted my parents' acceptance of my sexuality. I've never been called a fag. I get called a fag all the time. Well, not as much. I think it might be maybe the climate's changing. Maybe people are saying fag way less. Because I remember in my teenage, maybe into my early 20s. I mean, once you get out of high school, the amount of people calling you fag goes way down. Once you get away from all the fucking assholes and stuff. But yeah, still, it's turned into equivalent. There's a different thing now. It's just changed, but I've definitely been called a fag. I've never been called a dyke. I actually remember the first time I was ever called a dyke, and I didn't know what it meant, and I don't think the person calling me it knew what it meant. But because I have I have a few feminine attributes, it could have been they could have said that I look like a stereotypical, like, like a Reeboks wearing person of lesbianism. That's the correct term, right? But I've definitely been called a dyke. Oh God, this video. I've never been called a fairy or any. Yes, I've never tried to hide my sexuality. No, never tried to do that. I'm always comfortable with public displays of affection with my partner in public. Absolutely not. You try to be decent, people. Nobody wants to see that. I've never pretended to be just friends with my significant other. Not in a sleazy way, but maybe you could have a significant other. You define significant other. Oh, God. I've never been ostracized by my religion for my sexual orientation. Being straight and doing what I do in my religion, that it was thwarted upon me, Catholicism, you're goddamn right. My behavior is ostracized, and God damn it, I don't click that one. God, the derailing of these tricky words. Yeah, fuck yeah, and I had what I'm saying is, with Catholicism, being raised in that, you do feel ostracized for feeling the way that you do, and you carry a lot of shame around with you all the time until you all of a sudden burst into atheism and do whatever I did in my late teens, early 20s mostly. Never pretended to be just friends. Okay. Motherfucker. Okay. I've never been ostracized. That's not true. I've never been told I will burn in hell. Not for my sexual orientation. No. I say Catholicism definitely does, everything around sex. I've never been told that my sexuality is just a phase. Yeah, that's true. I've never been told that. I've never been violently threatened because of my sexuality. That's true. I've never been violently threatened. I am a man. What if I feel like being non-binary right now? Oh, God. I feel comfortable in the gender I was born as, definitely. I still identify as the gender I was born in, the gender I was born as, and then they changed their wording. The identity I was born in. I still identify as the gender I was. Okay. I've never tried to change my gender. True. I have never. Damn it. Oh! I'm gonna look like such an idiot to all of you. Probably you guys, you've decoded the way these questions are asked, but I hope it. Did I say something bad just now? Fuck it. I have never been denied an opportunity because of my gender. Let's go back to that one. I gotta think, because maybe I have been denied the opportunity of better tips by the same customers because they don't like the. I was gonna say they don't like the dude waiters, but maybe I was just a shit waiter. See, this is the thing about me, is I always go back and I don't blame them, just like, oh, they just tip girls more. I always look inward. I'm just like, maybe it's just me. Maybe people should be more like that. Instead of saying everything's out to get you. It's such a fucked up way of looking at things. Look at yourself first. I'm gonna say I'm not gonna click that one. Oh, I'm glad that this one follows it up because this is what I was saying. I make more money than my professional counterparts of a different gender. As a waiter, I did not make the same tips as my female counterparts. It could be argued that they were better servers than me. And that is true to a point, but they were definitely, and they knew it too, we all knew it. This is just something that servers know, is that you could, certain customers, you're going to get better stuff from. And unfortunately, for guys like me, we get less perks than a lot of lady servers. I hope that everything I said there was okay to say. But yeah. And another example, I used to be an ice cream man, and let me say this, it was a commission type job. And I wasn't the best ice cream man. I wasn't super dedicated. It was mostly just like me chilling around, just rolling around the neighborhood, doing my thing. But but there's this thing. My friend Carrie got a job there, and she blew away all of our records in the first day without even trying. She had a good town, with a lot of construction going on, and she fucking cleaned up, man. I had been doing it for 2 years. On her first day, she blew away my record, that, like, at me trying my hardest. Like, every day I wasn't neglectful of my own income, but there was a difference. There's perks, there's different things in different service industries. There's different perks, but I can't speak on a corporate level or anything like that because I just haven't been there. I'm an independent contractor, and I work. Things are different. I can't speak for everyone, but in my experience, I found that it's give or take depending on where you're at. Some places are different than others. Okay, let's see here. So I make more money. Not in my experience. I've never felt unsafe because of my gender. Not because of it. I feel unsafe. I've never been catcalled. I've definitely been catcalled. I've never been sexually harassed or assaulted. Definitely have. I've never been raped. Never been raped in my eyes. According to people like Lacey Green, I've probably been like raped 1,000 times. I mean, if you have 2 beers in the eyes of like the type of feminist that Lacey Green is, like, everyone's a rapist and everyone has been raped. So, but I don't think I've ever been raped. I work in a salary job. Nope. My family, I have never lived below the poverty line. Not true. I'm under the poverty line as we speak. I don't have any student loans. I don't, because I didn't go to fucking college. Asshole. I've never gone to bed hungry. Sure I have. I've never been homeless. Not homeless. Have I ever been straight up homeless before? I had to have been homeless for like a day or two. You know what? I have never been homeless, and it's because I figured it out. And definitely a helping hand, just family right there for you in those like couple of weeks when you need it. But I don't think I'm privileged because I've never been homeless. It's hard as fuck to not be homeless, though. Don't mind me. I don't consider it a privilege to have a home when you're paying for it, and every month you're panicking and freaking out that, I gotta keep the fucking lights on and the fucking gas on. I gotta make sure that I don't get kicked out of this fucking place. I gotta make sure the fucking cats get fed. You're all by yourself. It's not really a privilege. It's not a privilege. It's, something you fucking... It's, something you fucking fight for. Maybe it shouldn't be like that. It's scary. Like, people shouldn't be homeless. Fucking America. But that's beside the point. My parents pay some of my bills. Nope. My parents pay all of my bills. Nope. I don't rely on public transportation. Whoops, I almost clicked it. I do sometimes. Ubers, man. As an alcoholic... No, just kidding. But seriously, public transportation... I just took public transportation to get to the city the other day. Who doesn't rely on that? I buy new clothes at least once a month. Absolutely not. I've never done my taxes myself. Yeah. My dad's an accountant, but even though I can get him to do my taxes for free, and when I say he's an accountant, that doesn't mean might sound fancy, but he's like an independent person. I don't come from a rich family whatsoever. But even though I can get it done from him for free, I've been so desperate by the time my W-2 goes in is that I give H&R Block part of the cut just to so I can get like a little crummy little debit card that I can't use everywhere just so I could like take care of emergencies. So have I ever filed my own tax return? No. I know how to. If you handed me one, I would know how to do it. Is that a privilege? I don't know why you're asking me this. I've never felt poor. I've never had to worry about making rent. I've never worked as a waiter, barista, bartender, or salesperson. That's me. I have had an unpaid internship. No. Dude, I have had multiple unpaid internships. This doesn't have to do with privileges. You go to you're doing an internship through your fucking college. You're privileged if you're eligible for internship through your school in I don't know. I'm sure there's internships I'm not thinking of. I'm thinking of ones in the media, stuff like that. But, that sounds like if internships are an option for you, it sounds like you're pretty fucking privileged. Because the only people who take those are people who have money or are taking care of themselves. So get the fuck out of here. Unless I'm wrong, tell me in the comment section. Don't be a dick. I went to summer camp. No. I went to a private school. No. I went to Sunday school. That doesn't count though, and that's no privilege. I graduated high school. Fuck yeah, I at least did that. I went to an elite college. I graduated college. Nope. 10 years, no college. My parents paid at least some of my tuition. I had a car in high school. No. I have never had a roommate. I've had so many roommates. I've always had cable. No. Even living at, I think there was like a 10-year gap, no cable, and there was like a 2-year gap with no TV. It broke, and we just learned to live without it. After a few days, you didn't think about it. It wasn't a big deal, especially when you just have basic television. Hey, fams at home, turn the TV off. Interact with each other. No, don't. It's horrible. I have traveled internationally. Sadly, I've never left the country. And you know what? I've gotten a perspective from a good friend of mine who she just went to Europe, like all over Europe, and her experience was like, you know what I learned from this is I really don't like traveling. It's stressful and nerve-wracking and annoying. And you see some shit, and it's like, oh yeah, look at that. pretty nice. But, you know, I got a 50-inch, like, HD screen sitting across from me right now. And, it looks like a picture of Arizona. It's playing through my Chromecast, and I think I get it. Looks nice. But no, I've never traveled internationally. I've studied abroad? No. My siblings have. My privileged siblings. They've both left the country. Oh wait, there's a third one. I don't think he has. He's gone to different... He's traveled. He's traveled a little more than me lately. I've never skipped a meal to save money. I only eat like once or twice a day. I don't have meals. I don't have like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's like you try to find some food and you're hungry. Not that I struggle for food right now. I'm actually like, I spoil myself in the food department. I spend a little too much money, but I'm a single guy. Like, you know, what am I going to do? I can't really buy in bulk. Everything goes bad. So it's basically like a lot of the times I'm like, I'll spend $4 to $8 on a steak and I'll have vegetables or whatever. So I'm like eating pretty decent. But there's definitely been times where I've had to go without. Definitely times where I've been like super poor. Everything's falling apart. It's all a roller coaster. It's life. You can't really judge someone's... I don't know. Let's just keep going. I don't know what Sally Mae is. I don't know what Sally Mae is. I spent spring breaks abroad. Nope. I have frequent flyer miles. What's that? My parents are heterosexual. Yeah. My parents are both alive. Yes. My parents are still married. Yes. I do not have any physical disabilities. Is ADD a learning disability? I gotta say it is. It disabled my ability to learn at the same pace as others in school. I think it still affects me to this day. I don't... and as physical disabilities? No, I don't have any physical disabilities. And do I have social disabilities? The jury's out on that. I feel like I have some anxiety problems, but let's just leave that blank, because you know what? There's a big trend right now to self-diagnose yourself with anxiety or your autism, even like from that spectrum, from depression and anxiety all the way to autism. Everyone's schizophrenia, even I've seen, and who knows? Like some of these like these screenshots might be satire or whatever, but. It's definitely a trend that people think it's cool to have like debilitating problems, and, you know. Not saying that all the problems I listed that I can't remember from 30 seconds ago are debilitating. I'm shooting off the fucking head here, guys. This is going way longer than it should be. I've never had an eating disorder. I don't think I have an eating disorder. I've never been depressed. I think I'm depressed now. I've never considered suicide. I've never considered suicide or attempted it. But doesn't it suck being alive, guys? Have you ever fantasized about suicide? You're just like, I could just throw myself off the top of that parking garage. I wonder what the the people at the streets of Elmhurst would think about that. Totally kidding. But just, I think about it from like a filmmaker's perspective, or like a horror filmmaker's perspective. What would it look like? Like those on those old talk shows, and they throw the watermelons off the buildings. Like, would it look like that? Oh, it's gross. Hopefully, whoever's watching this, you're not overly sensitive, though. I've never taken medication for my mental health. ADD, I wouldn't say is mental health, so no. I can afford medication, no. I've never been told I'm overweight or too skinny. Definitely skinny shamed. Many times, like, people get real shitty about it too. It's just like, sorry that you got fat, yo. I never felt overweight or underweight or too skinny. Sometimes it does make me self-conscious when I'm just like blindsided by that because I think that I like the way that I look. I guarantee it. So when somebody like comes out of nowhere and say, "Oh, you look like this. Like you should be like thinking about this," I'm like, "Fuck off." But some of it resonates with me. I've never been shamed for my body type. I definitely have. I consider myself to be physically attractive. Yes. I'd fuck me. Not really. Oh. I can afford a therapist. No. Wish I could. I've used prescription drugs recreationally. I've never had an addiction. I've never been shamed for my religious beliefs. I've never been violently threatened for my religious beliefs. Death threats all the time. Atheist stuff. I get a lot of fucking shit on YouTube too of just fucking fanatics, but they usually just pop right in the spam folder. They're all over the place, so YouTube knows it. I've never been violently threatened by religious beliefs. I've never been violently attacked for my religious beliefs. I've never been punched out for being an atheist, that's for sure. There's a place of worship for my religion in town. Nope. I've never lied about my ethnicity as self-defense. No. I've never lied about my religion as self-defense. I've kept back that I'm an atheist just to, old people. I don't want to upset them. I don't want to disrupt their days. All my jobs have been accommodating of my religious practices. Nope. I am not fucking Santa hats. Santa hats just because it's a Christmas thing, but secretly deep inside, I just feel like a total toolbox if I'm wearing a fucking Santa hat. But it's against my religion. I'm not nervous in airport security lines. Oh, I'm so nervous anytime I gotta go through a fucking metal detector. I just feel like, even though if I know I'm doing nothing wrong, I feel like something's gonna happen. I don't know, it's a weird phobia of mine. That and the ocean, those metal detectors, all that stuff. Going in the courthouse, terrifying. I feel like they're looking at me like, this guy's up to something. They're like, take off your belt. I'm like, oh. Anyway, I've never heard this statement. You have been randomly selected for second. I haven't. I don't take a lot of planes. I've never been called a terrorist. No, I've never been called a terrorist. Nobody has ever tried to save me from my religious beliefs. Yes, they have. I've been sitting, and somebody doesn't even know my fucking religious beliefs. I've been sitting at a gas station. This woman just looks at the way I'm dressed. She comes up to me with a fucking cartoon telling me a comic book, which I love comic books. You guys know this. About how I'm going to fucking hell. Fuck you. Fuck anyone who's passing out those fucking religious comic books. Your fucking propaganda. Sit and spin. It's your bullshit. I have been people have tried to save me. I've never been cyberbullied for any of my identities. Which identities? Like a bunch of different identities. I take all of the internet. I only have one, and I have been identified. I have been bullied because I've gotten death threats just for asking questions of people, and I don't even get. I mean, I kind of am a smart ass with some people because I like to fight with people on the internet, but nothing that warranted a death threat. Especially when we had mutual friends and I could track down exactly where he was. I was like, why are you going to threaten me? Everyone will know that you've done it. Because I posted to shit Tumblr says and they shared it everywhere. But anyway, I was not bullied as a child for any of my identities. I was fucking bullied just for being me. I think being called a fag and being pushed around and bullied is, that was just me. They were picking on me because I was perhaps faggy, even if they didn't think I was gay, just for bullying me, just for being whatever about me that upset them like that. That's fucked up, man. You shouldn't bully people. Never tried to distance myself from any of my identities. What the fuck does identities mean? I gotta say no. What does the identities mean? My identity. I have my identity. Do I try to distance myself from my identity? God. No. No. I think I embrace it. I've never been self-conscious about any of my identities. I am self-conscious about my identity. What the fuck does identities mean? Is this, like, meant for that, like, people, the person living in that John Cusack movie, Identity, with that other chick? It's kind of good. Kind of stupid. God, what the fuck's up with this Buzzfeed thing? I've never questioned any of my identities. I think I've questioned myself and parts of my identity. It's so confusing. Who talks like this? I feel privileged because of the identities I was born with. No. My identity as a white person with a dick, I don't feel like I'm privileged necessarily because of that. I think people look at me and they size me up for what I am, as does everyone else with eyes and a developed brain, or a brain that's grown for a certain amount of time. People have their biases, I suppose. People have been biased against me because of just the way I am. People think I'm kind of a character. But let's let BuzzFeed check my privilege. What does it say? You live with a 46 out of 100 point. How privileged are you? You are not privileged? Woo! Okay. I gotta screenshot this. And I know people are gonna come and say that just like you weren't answering some of those questions honestly. You were really fucking with the interpretation of the questions, perhaps. But I'm glad that in this world, at least BuzzFeed only almost thinks I'm privileged. I'm in the yellow zone, though. I'm on the borderline of being privileged. As soon as I clicked white and male, it's automatically to yellow. But, look at that. Well, check it out, guys. BuzzFeed says that I'm not privileged, and you better check your shitlords. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I didn't mean for this to be this long. Now my shit's dying, but, fucking smash both those buttons, and see y'all later.